when it came to the projects you and your team were taking on, you would go the extra mile. You would, instead of just having a PowerPoint presentation, you'd create some digital videos, you incorporate and try to make it into a movie and experience. How, like, what was that trigger that made you want to separate yourself from your peers and kind of colleagues?
I think it's a great question. And, for me, it was, maybe it's growing up in Edmonton,
Mm,
growing up in an environment where, every single job that I've had, it's always been for like a global company. And working for a company like Deloitte, it's a global company. In Toronto, the headquarters of Canada are in Toronto. Like
mm,
Edmonton is just a side project for everyone. And I always was the underdog.
mm,
I was always looked over.
mhm,
And so in order to be known, in order to have a voice, you had to do something differently. You
mhm.
could not play it safe.
Yep.
And so in order to develop a career that was meaningful and valuable, you had to step up. And that's why I believe that, in Edmonton, we create so many amazing entrepreneurs
Yep.
because they have to step up. They have to have that voice. And I think that was absolutely part of it.
Mm,
And because of that, I was able to build my brand within the firm, work across the globe in this innovation world. And it's only because I'm like, if I don't,
yep.
like, I'm going to die here.
Hmm. So I imagine one component, as I just touched upon, was your presentations. Like reading your book, you communicated that they're attractive, they're interesting, they're engaging. But I think that's just like one aspect. The other aspect, which I would love to know from you, was what was your presentations like in terms of the way you talk? Because when I see you present, I could just imagine what it was like when you presented to clients or within the like ecostructure of Deloitte. How did you develop that skill set of presentation or communicating sort of your ideas, thoughts, projects to others around the table?
So, there's obviously so many different elements of presentation and storytelling. And without, like, we can go throughout the entire pod talking about this. But for me, it was the ability to present in front of different types of people in
Mm,
different environments in a cold workshop boardroom in a group of people that you've never met before. Just getting the cadence of running these workshops, doing interviews, being in these uncomfortable environments
yep.
where you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing or why I'm here.
Mm,
And being put in those completely uncomfortable situations, you just develop the reps. Once you conquer that,
mm,
you can do anything. I remember this clearly. I was doing this project for this big gaming and liquor company,
yep.
and the the there were people on my team that were way more senior than me in that room,
Mhm,
and yet they relied on me to do the entire, like, the whole, like, half day workshop or whatever it was.
mm,
And because they weren't so in depth in that project.
yep.
So it was just me in a room of like 75, 100 leaders, just like navigating this entire conversation at a very strategic level.
Mm,
And to me, it was like an orchestra. And
mm,
I felt like, holy crap, like, what are these guys doing? Like, I'm new to this game. I remember I was like in consulting just for a couple of years. I'm like,
yep.
wow, like, I I can do this. And just stepping into those uncomfortable positions,
Yep.
just allowed me to grow and to become a better speaker. But also, like, throughout the years, just being the presentation, the design, like how you put up your slides, um, using humor. My friends and I, we created these creative films over the years. So
Mm,
humor was always a big piece of how I, did my presentation. So to be honest with you, it's like developing all these superhero skills around presentation design, a comedy, being in these uncomfortable situations, and then you put it all together, and now I'm one of the busiest speakers on the planet,
yep.
right? And it's not just one thing; it's a whole bunch of things
Oh,
that gives me that unfair advantage.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So if you enjoyed this video, please watch the full podcast right here. And if you want to watch another clip like this one, please click right here. Peace, love, hope to talk to you soon.